there. Very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Shara Maskrinius.
I'm Movin Hettiarachi and here are today's headlines. Fires flare once again on the ship MT New Diamond. The operations to rescue the ship continues with the assistance of specialists from several countries. Many of the taxes imposed on gem and jewelry industry has been lifted. The Buduput Suraksha health insurance coverage is to be implemented with effect from the 1st of next month. Summons have been issued once again on former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe by the Presidential Commission investigating political victimization. Responses on red light. India has risen to the second place in the list of countries with corona-infected patients.
On to the stories in detail, and starting off with our leading item for today. It has been reported that of a recurrence of fire in the ship MT New Diamond. The Navy says that the existing weather condition in the sea 30 nautical miles beyond Point Sangamankanda, where the ship is located, has triggered fires once again. We join now in conversation with the Navy media spokesman, Captain Indika De Silva, who is joining us on Channel I Rupavahini News. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Shara.
We'd like to get the latest update as to what's happening at this very moment.
Well, Sharon, the damage control operation, which was ongoing since last evening, after dousing the fire, board motor tanker New Diamond turned into a firefighting operation this evening. Another fire that broke out on board in the presence of unburnt combustible material in a heated environment with the fresh supply of oxygen from the increased wind flow. The adverse weather condition prevailed in the environment had caused this situation, we believe, and all the ships which was engaging in the damage control operation are now conducting the firefighting, and 9 ships with 5 tugboats are currently engaging with the fire.
So also, can you give us an update as to how the Sri Lankan Navy is involved in this entire project?
Yeah, since this evening we were transporting the 17 specialists who arrived in the island last night and this morning, and they were studying the situation around the ship. While we were doing this, the Sri Lanka Navy has 2 ships in the vicinity, and 5 tugboats were actively engaging, and Indian Coast Guard and Indian Navy ship is also present. And Sri Lankan Air Force also dropped some dry chemical powders in the evening, and the fire is still on, and Navy is doing its best to contain this fire also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us online. That was the Navy media spokesman, Captain Indika De Silva, giving us the latest update as to what's happening there at Sangamankanda. What's important is how the Sri Lanka Navy as well as the Sri Lanka Air Force is doing a commendable effort in dousing the fire there. And we'll be joining with the Group Captain Dushan Vijay Singh, the Acting Director of Media for Sri Lanka Air Force, in a short moment. But for the moment, fire at the New Diamond crude oil transportation vessel was fully doused last evening. However, minor flares were witnessed once again this morning with the reporting of this incident. Now into that leading story. The Sri Lankan Air Force has unleashed 3 tons of dried chemical powder to end the fire. It is suspected that the strong winds prevailed in the eastern seas since last night may have paved the way for the recurrence of the fire. The defense sources have stated earlier that the prevalence of extremely high heat in the area where the ship is stationed may recreate major fire at any instance. The company which owns the vessel have taken measures to deploy the services of 6 specialists and 11 management specialists to rescue the ship. The Indian Navy and Indian Coast Conservation Department have deployed 4 ships along with the craft deployed by the Sri Lanka Air Force to quench the fire. Further, 11 fire extinguished specialists have arrived in the country from Matala Airport today. Measures have also been taken to send the specialists from Netherlands, Britain, Belgium to the site after being subjected to strict health guidelines, including PCR testings. The Navy says that they are not being able to go near the ship due to the prevailing condition. A meeting was conducted at the Port Ministry today regarding the further measures to be taken with regard to the fire at the New Diamond ship. It was presided over by Minister Rohita Begunawardena. Senior officials of the Sri Lankan Navy, the Sri Lanka Air Force and the Office of the Secretary of Merchants Navy and Sri Lanka Ports Authority was present. Minister Rohita Begunawardena says even with the elimination of the problem by 100%, other related problems may remain with us. He also said that they are hoping to take measures regarding how to cooperate with the international community regarding incidents of this nature. Well, we join with us online now the Acting Director Media, Group Captain Dushan Vijay Singh of the Sri Lanka Air Force. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, it says that the Sri Lanka Air Force has unleashed 3 tons of dried chemical powder to end the fire. Could you elaborate us on this detail?
Yes, from today morning, we have commenced the aerial reconnaissance and dropping of DCP to the deck area of the ship to further cool down the area. But however, in the evening, we have saw the smoke coming from the rear area of the ship. This is maybe due to, we suspect that this is due to heavy wind and the intense heat of the steel plates that cause the reignition. Basically, this due to the burn back effect. So the observed the smoke in the evening were intensified because of the heavy wind. So we use the Bell 212 helicopters and one Mi-17 helicopter to drop the DCP today from the morning till the evening, and we did the aerial reconnaissance from using number 3 Maritime Squadron aircraft. So we plan to carry out the same aerial reconnaissance missions from tomorrow onwards, and we have 2 helicopters standby at Air Force Base Ampara from tomorrow morning to continue the firefighting.
So we also understand that the craft that was deployed by the Sri Lanka Air Force to quench the fire, but there are specialists who have arrived from Britain and other countries. Could you give us an update on that as well, please?
Yes, the specialized crew that arrived yesterday, so they are on board in the naval ship, but they couldn't on board to the ship due to the intense heat on the surface. But we are trying our best to, cool the surface by again dropping the water and the DCP from tomorrow onwards. So this is a combined effort from the Sri Lanka Navy, Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard. So it will take some time to cool these plates because these are heavy steel plates. So the temperature is larger, like around more than 1000 centigrade due to the fire. So if we able to cool down these steel plates, so this special team will be able to board the ship.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us online. The Acting Director Media, Group Captain Dushan Vijay Singh. And we also want to commend the efforts by the Sri Lanka Air Force for taking the risk and being out there and doing a fabulous job.
In other news, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has decided to repeal the 14% revenue tax and the 15% gold import tax imposed on profits of gem and jewellery industries. The President has made these observations at a discussion on future plans of the State Ministry of Gem and Jewellery related industries today. The revenue tax concession handed over to the gem and jewellery industry since the year 1971 has been revoked through the income tax policy introduced in year 2017. As a result, a situation has arisen in which the through income from the exportation of gem and jewellery was concealed. A 15% tax on importation of gold was also launched in the year 2018. These measures had paved the way to increase the price of jewellery. The President has pointed out the relevant taxes should be withdrawn immediately, and steps should be taken to enhance the gem and jewellery industry. And an in-depth discussion by State Minister Lohan Ratwatta pertaining to the failure to resolve the problems relating to the inability of Sri Lanka becoming a centre of world gem trade. The State Ministry on this occasion has pointed out the importance of maintaining gem reserves with aim of facilitating importation of precious gems not found in Sri Lanka. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa also said on this occasion that all relevant institutions should be brought into one place to avoid delays in the issuance of gem mining licenses. He said further instructed state-owned banks to provide loans of 1 million rupees at a concessionary interest rate of 4% to jewellery manufacturers and traditional jewellers to purchase gold. The President has also decided to remove the barriers that had obstructed the release of uncultivated lands with gem deposits belonging to plantation companies, and to over-control these lands to the benefit of the mining industries. President Rajapaksa has also instructed the officials to expedite the construction of proposed gem trading complex and training centre at Dematuawate, Ratnapura. It has also been pointed out that unregulated illicit gem mining is taking place in areas containing rich gem deposits of the Ratnapura districts on large scale. He has also instructed officials to immediately halt gem mining activities that are carried out on harmful manner to the environment, as well as to remove barriers to traditional gem mining industries. A number of views presented by advancement of the industries were discussed in detail in this meeting, including the development of gem laboratory of the National Gem and Jewellery Authority on par with international standards. Several MPs and ministers as well as high-ranking government officials were also present at the discussion. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed the authorities to implement the Buduput Suraksha insurance program with effect from the 1st of October this year. He has given these instructions at the 84th administrative meeting of the Buddha Sashana Fund at the Temple Trees today. At the meeting presided over by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, instructions have been delivered to implement the Buduputta Suraksha health insurance scheme covering 15,000 bhikkhus. Funds amounting to 40 million rupees have been provided to the Buddha Sashana Fund. The government will provide further 50 million rupees, and decisions have been taken for the well-being of bhikkhus at this meeting. Among the decisions including reduction of limitation of 90 years for the facility of provision of medical fees and upkeep of methodology, hitherto granted only to bhikkhus exceeding the age limit of 100 years. Similarly, the number of scholarship granted to the 3-year period of novice bhikkhus has been increased to 1,500 rupees from 800 rupees, and also increased the current scholarship payments to 750 rupees. A decision has also been taken to increase the amount of provided for sanitation purposes to 150,000 rupees. Other measures included uplift conditions of 29 bhikkhu institutions scattered through the island, and 100 direct bhikkhus for the program extended by the Chinese government for training Chinese language. The other decision was not to levy charges for halls of resting, and also commenced language learning program for bhikkhus. Venerable Dr. Divya Yasasithera, Opposition Leader Sajid Premadasa and Prime Minister's Secretary Gamini Senrath were also present at the discussion.
Lawmakers and people's representatives say that the government of good governance has brought the 19th Amendment not for the welfare of the people, but solely taking into consideration of political power. They further say that the people were compelled to receive the harmful effects. Many people are of the view that a crisis has been created between the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. Over the 19th constitutional amendment, many political and administrative problems have been created. One such was the power struggle between the Prime Minister and the President during the previous regime. Many people have commented on the commissions that came into being through the 19th constitutional amendment. Minister Ali Sabri has inquired whether there had been a reduction or an increase in the number of crimes at the bringing of the police commission. He also said that the Easter attack could not be averted after having 97 reports. He has inquired on the use of such commissions when it was still unable to remove the IGP. He has also inquired on the use of the 90th Amendment when it is unable to remove an IGP who had committed an offence. He also said that they will not hesitate to take necessary measures to safeguard the country.
Summons have been issued once again to 8 persons, including former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, to appear before the Presidential Investigation Commission on Political Victimisation. They have been delivered according to the complaint filed by Director General of Divinagama RAAK Ranavaka. Summons have been issued on previous occasion as well on Lok Group leading former Prime Minister to appear before the Commission. The group of persons received the summons including former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, parliamentarians Rauf Hakim, Sarath Fonseca, leader of the Tamil Alliance R. Sampathan, M.A. Sumathiran, as well as Presidential Counsel Dr. Jayampati Vikramaratne, the President's Counsel J.C. Valimuna, and Secretary of the Office of Anti-Corruption Anand Vijaypala. The Supreme Court Judge Upali Aberatne has ordered to take measures against group including Wickremesinghe according to the laws of the Commission if they fail to appear before the Commission on the stipulated date. Leader of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Anurakumara Dissanayake, was presented at the Commission today. Attorney at Law appearing on his behalf has requested the Commission to furnish all documents pertaining to the evidence and complaint. The President of the Commission said that it has requested the present motion to receive relevant documents. Further hearings have been postponed till the 19th of this month.
Our red light feature covered on the Meethuramulla water problems, and here are the responses. The Red Light Programme has reported yesterday on the water supply dispute of residents in Peraharamatha in Meethuramulla. The residents have complained that they are receiving water only in the early morning. Coordinating official of the Ministry of the Water Supply had probed the issue with an official of the Water Supply Board today. Coordinating official of the Minister, L.A. Gunaratna, said that they have joined the Red Light Programme telecast by the national television, and he expressed the satisfaction over the provision of remedies through enlightening of the Minister. The Red Light Programme focuses attention on people's problems. The programme continues to remain vigilant on the water problem at Peraharamatha, Meethuramulla.
The Department of Meteorology predicts a lessening of the prevailing rainy weather conditions. However, the red notice issued by the 5 districts faced with the threat of earth slips by as the National Building Research Organisation continues. Heavy rains were lashed on the upper catchments of areas of Athanagalla last night. As a result, minor flood conditions were reported on several adjacent areas. The Department of Irrigation says that if heavy rain persists, the area tonight as well. Several areas in Gampaha, Jayala Road, Kinithiwatta, Henamilla Road and areas surrounding the Kinithiwatta would come under water. The department requests the residents to take area to remain vigilant. A 29-year-old female youth was killed when a concrete pillar had fallen onto a house at a school lane in Kanduela. The mother of the victim has also received serious injuries and admitted to the intensive care unit of the Colombo National Hospital. 2 brothers of the victim were also injured. Kuglenganga has overflowed due to incessant rainfall throughout the day yesterday. As a result, several low-lying areas in Paragada Bulat Sinhala were inundated. Due to strong winds that prevailed last night, several trees were uprooted in R.A. Dimel Mavatha and Thanamul Junction. As a result, obstructions have been caused to vehicle transport. However, transit roads were cleared with the removal debris. Heavy damages have been caused to Vocalization Training Centre building in Maravilla in Puttalam district due to the falling of two massive trees. There have been traffic congestion in Maravilla town on Colombo-Chula main road due to the lack of rainwater disposal. Vehicle transport was also instructed on the road leading to Old Dutch Fort in Gaul. The Gaul Municipal Council and the firefighters have working to cut and remove the trees. Several locations on the roads of Karapitia town have also come under water. A nearly 75 houses in Parnagama were damaged due to strong winds blown across off Malivada. The incremental weather conditions has also disrupted fishing activities in Mana. The Department of Meteorology says that intermittent rainfall exceeding 50 millimeters could be expected in western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces within the next 36 hours. It has also forecasted intermittent winds at the speed of 50 kilometers per hour across the main, including north, north-central and northwestern. The sea areas from Mannar to Trincomalee via the Kankasanture and also from Mathura to Portugal would turn rough from time to time. Other sea areas in the island may also remain rough. The Met Department further says that there is a possibility of surging SDA waves from 3.5 meters to 2.5 meters. In the coastal sea areas from Beruvala to Hambantota via Gaul, the department has requested fishing and naval community to remain vigilant in pending development. The red notice on earth issued on 5 districts remain valid.
Here's the global update on COVID-19. India reports another daily record of nearly 91,000 cases today, bringing the total over 4.2 million and overtaking Brazil to become the second hardest hit country. Meanwhile, reports have indicated that COVID-19 cases continue to rise in 22 of the states in the US, and the country celebrates its end of the summer Labor Day weekend. The world's coronavirus cases have hit 27.3 million, while more than 19.3 million people have recovered and more than 883,000 have died from the disease. With over 4.2 million infections, India has nearly 70,000 cases, more than Brazil. India, with a daily record of 90,802 new cases recorded today, also has the fastest growing caseload. The United States, with more than 6 million cases, remains the worst affected country. Deaths in India have been relatively low so far, but the country has posted more than 1,000 deaths for each of the last 5 days. A total of 1,016 people died of COVID-19 today in India, taking a total mortalities to 71,642. Meanwhile, according to the foreign reports, coronavirus cases expected to rise in 22 of the 50 US states, a worrisome trend on a Labor Day holiday weekend traditionally filled with family gatherings and parties to mark the end of the summer. Cases were increasing in only 3 states, Hawaii, Illinois and South Dakota, in the past 3 weeks. Most of the 22 states with an escalating number of cases have been reported from the less populated parts of Midwest and South. The increases are masked nationwide by decreasing new infections in the most populous states of California, Florida and Texas. While cases nationally have dropped from a peak in July, the United States is moving into Labor Day holiday weekend with an average of 44,000 new cases a day. Brazil's health ministry has reported at least 14,500 additional coronavirus infections and 447 deaths, raising the total number of cases to at least 4.1 million and a death toll to over 126,600 as of yesterday. Brazil ranks second in the number of deaths, while third in the number of cases and the highest in the number of recoveries at more than 3.5 million. Russia reported more than 5,000 new coronavirus cases today, pushing its national tally to more than 1.3 million cases and the 4th largest in the world. Authorities have confirmed 51 deaths in the last 24 hours, bringing the official death toll to 17,871. In other local stories, 2 books authored by the Defence Secretary and retired Major General Kamal Gunaratne was launched yesterday at a ceremony presided over by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The event has taken place at Kularatna Hall in Ananda College. The two books launched were the Pathalaya novel and an English translation of the work titled Gotabaya. The Pathalaya novel is based on true incidents. The Sinhala copy of the Gotabaya book was launched last year. The Defence Secretary is the author of the 5 literary creations, including Ranamaga Ose Nandikadal, Kadol Atu, Uttaradevi and Gotabaya. Yesterday was a special day for the Defence Secretary as it was his birthday as well. Chief Presidential Advisor Ladit Veeratunga. The first copies of the two books were handed over to the Mahasangha headed by the Mahanayaka of the Sri Kalyani Samagi Dhamma Mahasangha Sabha Venerable Ittapane Dhamma Lankara Thera by the Major General Kamal Gunaratna. Thereafter, the copies were presented to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, as well as to Minister Chamal Rajapaksa.
Of exemplary leadership. The first one is model the way. Second, inspired a shared vision. The third, challenge the process. Fourth, enable others to act. And the last, encourage the heart. What do we mean by model the way? Titles are granted, but it's your behavior that earns your respect. I have known President Gotabaya Rajapaksa well and long enough, and my current role further enables me to say with utmost confidence that in every way, GR, as he is fondly known, is an embodiment of this practice. His travels to many parts of our country prove that he has earned the respect of the large majority of our people, at times even his political opponents. Secondly, inspired a shared vision. They had visions and dreams of what could be. They had absolute and total personal belief in those dreams. Sri Lankans, by reading this book, will begin to understand that finally we have collectively found the leader who could make the life of every Sri Lankan safe, peaceful and prosperous. Your Excellency Gotabaya Rajapaksa, may I wish you Sukhi Digayu Ko Bhava.
The Court of Appeal has issued an interim order to the Commissioner General of Prisons to grant permission for the Ratnapura District Parliamentarian Premalal Jayasekara to attend parliamentary sessions and also to provide him transport to arrive in Parliament. The MP has been convicted with death sentence and remains in prison. The permission has been granted upon examination of writ appeal submitted by Premalal Jayasekara. The order has been delivered by a panel of judges comprising of President of the Court of Appeal Justice H.M.D. Navas and Justice Sobita Rajakaruna. President of the Court of Appeal delivering the order in the opening court said that a judicial verdict has not yet been declared to the effect that the election of Premalal Jayasekara as a member of parliamentarian is illegal. The judge also said that according to the Constitution, there is no legal obstruction for the petitioner to enjoy all privileges as a parliamentarian. Justice H.M.D. Navas further said that upon consideration of the petition, it has become apparent that a decision has been taken by the Commissioner General of Prisons to reject the bridging of the MP to Parliament as a result of the instructions delivered by the Attorney General. The AG was reported to have stated that Premalal Jayasekara is not qualified to hold the post of a Member of Parliament. He added that accordingly, the prison authorities had committed an offence based on instructions given by a third party. The President of the Court of Appeal has also said that this case does not have any connection to the Constitution. Accordingly, summons have been delivered to the respondents Commissioner General Tushara Puldeniya, Superintendent of the Valikada Prison and Secretary General of the Parliament to appear before the court. Further hearings have been postponed till the 29th of this month. 3 suspects, including former Fisheries Minister Rajitha Senaratne, who have been named as an accused in a case filed by the Bribery Commission, were requested to appear before the courts on the 29th of this month. The relevant summons was issued by the Colombo High Court today. They have been delivered by the Colombo High Court Judge Pradeep Hettiarachchi upon consideration of the charges presented by the Bribery Commission. The other respondents are the former chairman of the Fisheries Harbour Corporation, Upali Liyanage, and Managing Director Neil Ravindra Munasinghe. The charges filed against the group, including Rajitha Senaratne, had been caused a loss to the government by leasing the fisheries harbour in Muttuwal to a company named Sea Gulf Wook Private Limited during the period of the 1st August to the 1st of November 2014.
Meanwhile, State Minister Duminda Dissanayake says that measures will be taken to provide power through solar energy to all schools, which are in need of electricity. He further states that the aim is to supply solar power electricity to all homes without any difference based on poverty or affluence by the year 2030. State Minister Duminda Dissanayake says that the electricity bills have increased in large measure in schools today. Plans are underway to generate electricity through solar power. The roofs of schools are to be utilized in connection. The State Minister further states that he hopes to utilize roofs of state buildings and buildings of the ministries as well for the proposed solar power generation project. The aim is to make solar power 80% of power capacity of renewable energy by 2030. The State Minister has made these remarks at a ceremony at Nimalsiri in Anuradhapura. The event was being organized in connection with reaping mango harvest from the trees cultivated in school premises. The first portion of the harvest was offered as puja to Lord Buddha. That's it for tonight's English News Update from Channel 9. Good night.